How's it going, Airsofters? In this video I'm going to be showing you all the parts and modifications that I'm going to be installing into my Silverback SRS 16-inch covert, and I'm going to be showing you step by step how I do it. So we're going to be starting off with just the bare shell pretty much of the SRS. There's nothing in there, no cylinder, no piston, no barrel, no outer barrel. All that's there at the moment is just like the trigger unit and the sear and stuff. These SRSs are becoming extremely popular at the moment, and more manufacturers are producing more modifications and parts, aftermarket parts, for this awesome Airsoft Sniper rifle. So let's get started with this build. So this is the outer barrel, and it's solid aluminium, and it has the 14mm counterclockwise thread on the end there as well. And inside the outer barrel, I'm quite excited to say that I'm going to be installing this brand new prototype TNT Terminator Hopup chamber, brand new from TNT. This is a prototype model, but it is going to be available to purchase in the next couple of weeks from Skirm Shop UK and NL as well. This particular one comes with the Terminator chamber, the S Plus 420mm barrel, which is ideal for the 16-inch covert, and it also comes with a TR VSR Hopup bucking as well. So when the finished product is released, it's going to be anodized red in colour, and it is also going to have its own dial as well. At the moment it's got the dial from a Silverback Airsoft fast hop. It's extremely well made and very easy to get everything lined up in there as well. I'll show you how to do that in a moment. So let's adjust it to maximum hop and let you have a look down the barrel so you can see how that man looks. Let's get it focused in. There we go. So I think when these TNT chambers are released in the shops, I don't think they're going to be hanging around for too long, because they offer something that us SRS owners have struggled with in the past. With the old SRS fast hop unit, it's a bit of a struggle sometimes to get a full air seal with different parts from different manufacturers, and it's quite tough sometimes to get it fully aligned easily, where the TNT chamber offers the ability to get things aligned quite simply, and also it offers a full air seal. So if you do want one of these, I would get in very quickly. So to install the inner barrel and the chamber into the outer barrel, you can see there's a grub screw hole. Let me just bring it around there so you can see it better and focus in on it better. Well, there we go. So there's a hole that the grub screw goes into there. Now the inner barrel goes into the outer barrel. And you can see on the chamber there's a plate there that the grub screw sits on. So all you have to do is line that small plate up inside that hole there. So let's just come back around here, and so I've got the hole there for the grub screw. Make sure the chamber is aligned in there with that plate on the chamber. We take a grub screw and tighten it up. Don't over tighten it though, just tighten it up enough. Let's just make sure. Yeah, there we go, so we can still adjust. And that is the inner barrel installed into the outer barrel. So to install the outer barrel into the SRS, obviously you gotta know which end's the bottom end. And it slips in, and just be very gentle when you reach the feed tube. The TNT chamber goes over that feed tube, and there is no play. I'm not tightening anything up yet, and there's no play whatsoever on that feed tube at all, where with the Silverback Airsoft version it just wobbles about left and right. The wobble you can hear there now is just the outer barrel inside there, but there's no play whatsoever. So there we have the locking pin, locking key. Let's lock it into the lock position, and we just now need to lock this side. down the line and just tighten them up bit by bit. Start from the top again. Don't go too mad on them at all. They don't need to be cranked up exceptionally tight. Just do them bit by bit. There we go, that's fine. That is the outer barrel installed. So now we're going to install the cylinder into the SRS. Now what I'm going to do before I put the bolt handle on is just put a tiny bit of the Silverback Airsoft silicone grease. This is the supplied stuff, just a very small amount. Just give it a good fingering. You don't want very much at all in there. I don't know if you can just see in the side there at all. That's fine. Then the bolt handle just screws onto the cylinder. Just hand tighten it. That is all that is needed. That's fine. And what I'm going to do now is I have some lithium grease. I know a lot of people like to use dry lube, but I do like this lithium grease. A very small amount again. And just apply that on top of the cylinder. This is one of the downsides of the Silverback SRS, is that cylinder. Very open to the elements. So there we go. What I've done there was, there's the piston release here, trigger here, so just pull that down, pull the trigger in, cylinder goes in nice and easily. And as you can see, the nozzle on the cylinder head fits in that new TNT chamber with no issues whatsoever. Right, so let's talk about pistons. The piston that came with my SRS is this one. This is the stock piston, but the piston that I use now is this. This is the Silverback Airsoft variable mass piston. What this means is it allows you to adjust the weight of your piston, and you can use these little grey ones here. They weigh 24 grams and the blue ones weigh 8 grams. The good thing about this as well is you can install air brakes onto the piston head there. This is the maximum air brake that I use at the moment. There are smaller ones available as well, and the configuration I use is I use it with full air brake on the piston head, and I use an 8 and a 24, gives me 32 grams of extra weight, and that gives me the ideal joules that I need for UK spec. Most UK sites allow 2.3 joules. With this setup it runs at about 2.25 joules, which is adequate for me. So what I'm going to do, these piston head cups here are quite well known for being quite hard, so let's just give that a little bit, just a tiny bit silicone grease there. Let's bend it outwards a bit, just apply some around it. Just makes that piston head a bit more pliable and just allows for better seal as well inside the cylinder. Alright, let's install that into the SRS. So again, just pull the trigger in to drop the sear. There we go, and that just goes lovely into there, into the cylinder, just like that. So the spring I'm using is the Rapax 3 jewel spring, and obviously I don't want 3 jewels. This particular one has had 5 coils cut off of it, and if you are cutting coils off, just make sure that you make a nice tidy flat edge. And obviously that goes onto the spring guide. My spring guide's looking a bit rough at the minute with all this foam. That foam, all that does, just makes it, just gives it a better fit inside the butt there. Down. Just gives that spring guide a better fit in there. stops it from wobbling any more than it needs to. Spring guide goes on. We take, spring goes inside the piston. Push down, a little lock-in switch there. So now, before I go any further, the all-important test is the air seal test, the compression test. What I want to do is make sure that there's no air leaks at all in the rifle. So the best way to do this, make sure that you have no mag in and no BBs in the chamber. Your finger goes over the end of the barrel. It's a bit tough with the TNT barrel because they do sit in a little bit. So cock it, finger well and truly over the end of the barrel. Now keep an eye on the cylinder, the piston here. The piston, watch, there we go, perfect air seal. Finger over, perfect. Finger over, release finger, perfect air seal, love it. So now we've installed everything and made sure we have a good air seal, just going to take back off again. And what we're going to do now is a few things that will quieten this rifle down. One of the things I do, take like an old washing up sponge, and what I do is I just shove that. Like you see, there's quite a big hollow chamber there, so it doesn't make too much noise, but just the sponge takes any possible echoes there may be from that chamber there. Just make sure it's not affecting the sear movement at all. And then back on with the spring cover, just stops any crap from getting inside there. So now let's install a suppressor. Suppressors on these SRSs make a massive difference, and you can use any counterclockwise 14mm suppressor that you want to use. The one I use though is the Silverback Airsoft 338 suppressor. It is huge, but it does make a massive difference. You might be wondering, well, that hole there is way too big to fit on that 14mm thread. Yeah, you're right, it is. With these suppressors, you do need to have the flash hider adapter that goes over, but with that flash hider I do also install these two small spacers just to get it lined up properly. Perfect alignment. It does have a little grub screw there, it just tightens it up into place. And then the suppressor screws on over the top of that. And you can hear it already. It's made a massive difference to the sound of it. So what else do you need for a top-notch sniper rifle? Well, what you need is a high-quality scope. Now the scope that I use is a Vortex Crossfire 2:7 by 32 times, and it's covered in this crap at the moment, but these scopes are absolutely fantastic. Crystal clear glass on them. People do ask me what magnification I use it at, or use my scopes at, and I use it on the lowest magnification. I use it on 2 times. 2 times is ample for me for airsoft. I'm not shooting at massive distances. We're talking like 60 meters most of the time that I'm making engagements, and 2 times is just ample for me. I can see, I get a good field of view of what is going on to the left and the right of the target as well. So yeah, that is the scope that I use. Absolutely brilliant. Highly recommend them. These Vortex scopes come with a lifetime warranty as well, so if it does get hit by a BB and broken, Vortex will repair it or replace it for you as well. What more can you ask for? Something else you need that needs to be extremely well made and good quality are your BBs. Now I use Geoffs BBs and I've used them for maybe 2 or 3 years now. Extremely good quality. I use them in my AEGs and in my sniper rifles. And these particular ones are 0.45 gram BBs, which I use in my SRS. You speak to any Airsoft Sniper and they will tell you, even if they don't use them, even if they swear by another brand, they will tell you that Geoffs BBs are very good BBs. Now, another change that I've made to my SRS is with the magazines. Now, when I first got them, they had these black plastic BB pushers, and then they were changed to red plastic BB pushers, and then they were changed to red aluminium BB pushers. And now what they use is these dog's dicks. Now what these do is they feed every last BB into your rifle. Now there's nothing worse than losing your expensive ammunition when you change your magazines. So these things are pretty awesome. They are made of like a silicone stuff, very bendy. So thanks for watching my SRS build. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you do have any questions about my SRS, about the build, or about sniping in general, just ask me a question in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. And now they've gone for these. Dog's dick. Now what these do is dog's dick. Yeah, we say dog's dick. And now what these do is feed every last motherfucker.